Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to everyone that's been here before. What we're going to talk about today briefly is why companies are firing Gen Z employees. So Gen Z were born between 97 and the early 2010s. They have been facing layoffs quite a bit for some time now. And several companies have been firing university graduates who joined them about a year ago. A survey has listed many reasons behind the repetitive activity and giving a little insight for the workers and employers from the employer's point of view. According to the report by Intelligent.com, Gen Z employees have been finding it difficult to fit into the workplace. While their employers are hesitant to hire them, in a survey, the portal asked 1,000 degreed professionals between 18 and 27 about the stereotypes they face in the workplace. About 8 in 10 respondents revealed that the stereotypes have been impacting them negatively. The survey listed 8 such stereotypes that were very common and impacted Gen Z the most. The stereotypes that are Gen Z has a poor work ethic, is unprofessional, expects rapid career growth, is easily offended, needs constant feedback, does not prefer to work in a stressful environment, focuses on social causes, and is reluctant to traditional workplaces. These are the primary reasons why workers are being fired very often. Many Gen Zers are asking people to talk about these problems openly. Here's my response to that. When you're an employee and you live in the real world and you work in the real world, understand that your job didn't just start when you got there, okay? People have been doing these things the same way for a very long time. And it's great that Gen Zers and any new generation gets out and is excited about their adulthood and their time in the limelight. But it's not social media. Okay, so what you're doing is a job. You're expected to work a job. You're expected to do things appropriately. So the poor work ethic, for example, you're out there. This is a race. If you perform poorly, you're going to get fired. Your work ethic is the only thing that you have that is your credibility. And so when you lose that by having a poor work ethic, people aren't going to want you around, period. The next suggestion is that Gen Z is unprofessional. Unprofessional behavior is not tolerated in most places. Why? Professional behavior became that because professional behavior allows an environment to be productive and it allows everyone to feel comfortable because there's a certain set of rules and civility that people have. And that's what's discussed and talked about as professional behavior. So if you're infringing on those ethics and on those things, then you have an ethical issue that you need to correct. Other Gen Zers will figure that out and they'll step over you and you'll be left behind. So make sure unprofessional situations, dress, and responses aren't getting you in trouble. Expects rapid career growth. So here's my suggestion around that. Ask the tenure of roles. Ask how often people get promoted. Ask how soon people get promoted. Then correct your view of it accordingly. So you shouldn't be expecting rapid career growth. You should expect to learn as much as you can in the current role you are, as grow as you best can, and then expand as you can. That's the proper way to do it. Grow where you're planted. They're easily offended. Adult human beings should not be getting offended. Okay, if you're getting offended, then you're a child. You need to move back in with your mom and dad with your blanket and your pacifier. At the end of the day, professional places don't have time for people that are getting offended. If you're working in a professional manner and you're being courteous to those around you, then nothing should be offensive. Okay, if you are having something that's legitimately offensive, then report that to HR and see how they find that. The next one is needs constant feedback. If you find a good boss, you will get constant feedback. You'll get feedback weekly or bi-weekly in a one-on-one, which is the best way to do it. That way there's no grenades that you have to worry about. Okay, so if you aren't getting the feedback where you are, talk to your upline about that to see if you can't correct the situation, and then be okay with the gaps in the feedback. Have those meetings scheduled on the calendar. So if you're getting a little uptight, you can look and say, well, the next meeting is 2 weeks from now and I'll be okay and I can get to then. And do it that way. That adds professionalism, that adds credibility, and it shows that you can be a professional and not an unprofessional clown, right? If these are the primary reasons the worker can be fired, here is what employers say on why they're reluctant to hire Gen Zers. The portal questioned 1,000 hiring managers that found 6 out of 10 are reluctant to hire Gen Z About 50% of them claim that the employees of this generation struggle with communication, they lack strong work ethic, and they do not handle feedback. So it's not that you don't get feedback, it's that you can't handle the feedback you're given. A senior lecturer at the High School of Business named Holly Scroth explained that this generation does not have a focus on gaining job experience. They rather focus on extracurricular activities and have unrealistic expectations from their jobs. Another quote says, Gen Z doesn't know basic skills for social interaction with customers, clients, coworkers, nor do they have workplace etiquette. As a result, it's up to the company to properly onboard the new employee and give ample training. In addition, the boss needs to act as a coach as well as a manager. They are often unprepared for less structured work environments or workplace cultural dynamics. They have an expectation for autonomous work. Several hiring managers said that workers in this generation do not easily manage their workload. Moreover, they do not dress properly for the job and are frequently late. Guys, here's what I got to tell you. I've worked with multiple generations of employees and teammates, okay? If you can't get to work on time, that's a professionalism problem, but that also is a maturity issue, okay? Getting to work on time is something that takes no skill to do, okay? Handling your workload and navigating through your workload, especially if you want to have an autonomous work environment, that's extremely important. So sticking to your deadlines and making your deadlines is extremely important if you want to have autonomy. If you can't make those deadlines and you can't do that, then your autonomy should not exist. You're not going to have autonomy if you have to be told what to do and you have to be micromanaged. The next thing too is the feeling around failure. Okay, if you're so fearful of failure that you're not doing anything, you're slowing down, you're focused more on extracurricular activities. Here's my suggestion around that. I was speaking to a young man who's in my family a few weeks ago, and I said, you've got skills to do this, so why not do it? Well, it's not that fun. Okay, what is fun? And the gentleman listed out the things that are fun. I said, so why not do this 6 hours a day so you can then afford to have all this fun? If you do it 6 hours a day times 5 days a week, you've got less than what most people are working in a week. You'll get paid the same amount or more, and then you'll have more money to put into the things that you're seeing as fun. And then at some point, you'll have a family, and you'll have kids, and then you'll have to mature up around that because you can't just live paycheck to paycheck. You have to be prepared if a kid gets sick or if a spouse gets sick or something like that. You can have money to fall back on. And if you get injured, you're going to need something to pay the mortgage and to pay your bills while you're getting through that. So Gen Z, you got some work in front of you, but it's especially doable and you can handle it. Here's the point. Every generation felt the same way you do. Okay? Every generation had the same issues you do. The problem is right now you're your age. Okay? In a few years, you'll be a little bit older and you'll have more workplace etiquette. You'll have more knowledge around what's professional and what's not. But button the things up. Look at the more conservative situations. Emulate that. Find the things that you like about that and make that your new groove. If you do that, hopefully this situation won't impact you and you'll be able to survive the workplace and be more comfortable and make those more comfortable around you. Here's the secret to it, okay? There's no special sauce. All you have to do is be consistent, show up properly, be on time. And if you do those things, you're there and you're present. And while you're at work, just focus on work. Because if you're there for 8 hours a day and you focus on work and you get a little better every single day, by the end of next year, you will be much better than you are now. And you won't have to worry about these things anymore. If stuff like this is useful to you and you like videos such as these, please like this video. Please subscribe. I'm Ben. Be good.